Alright, welcome to part 5 of What If Naruto Had Matter Manipulation, or What If Naruto Manipulated Matter? I completely forgot the title because I took a whole day break. Um, Anyways, so where I left off was where Naruto had decided he's going to make his statement to Tsunade. So the next day, Naruto runs up to Tsunade, is just like, Granny Tsunade, I've decided I'm going to form my own village, the Village of the Ocean. And it will be formed in the middle of the ocean. And Tsunade is like, "What, Naruto? How long have you been thinking about this? Have you thought it through?" And then she goes on this entire tangent, and Naruto's like, "Of course I've thought it through. Who do you think I am, a dumbass?" And she's like, "No, but like that's not the point." And then Naruto's just like, "My village is gonna be for those who have no place to belong. This village didn't treat me like I belonged here when I originally started here, and I don't want to stay here. These villagers don't deserve me for what they put me through as a child. They don't deserve me, and they're not going to keep me. I'm going to create this village. This village is going to have anybody who needs a home. People who are homeless, people who have made mistakes, people who change. I already have Haku and Zabuza founding the village, and I trust them, honestly." And Tsunade is just like, "Naruto, are you sure about this?" And Naruto tells him that he's 100% sure. Um, and so, Naruto tells Tsunade to have a 5 Kage summit to acknowledge that he's about to become a nation, and he's going to find people, and it will become a true nation, and they have to acknowledge it. And the and Tsunade decides to do it. She decides to call the 5 Kage summit, and she tells there's a very interesting and debatable reason on why we need this summit. And Naruto goes with her to the 5 Kage summit. And so, sorry, it's been a couple days, so I'm getting back into my rhythm. So, Naruto, Tsunade, and all the other Kage and their assistants, they all go to the 5 Kage summit. And so they all sit down, and all the other Kage ask Tsunade, "What is this meeting about, Tsunade?" And Tsunade decides to tell them, "Naruto here has decided he's forming his own nation." And the other Kage are like, "He can't do that," except for the Kazekage, who is still Gaara. Just Gaara can control the One Tails now. And they're like, "What? He can't do that." Gaara is just like, "I'm pretty sure he can. It's not like any of us can stop him if we're being 100% honest." And they're like, but," and then the Reikage, um, oh yeah, since this meeting was about Naruto, Tsunade brought Kakashi and Sasuke just as some extra protection. And the Reikage tells Naruto that he cannot be doing this, not right now. "We just went through the crisis of the Akatsuki, and I thank you for taking care of it, but we cannot acknowledge a nation that you haven't even formed yet." And Naruto looks at them, he's just like, "It's been formed, and I already have the place, I already have people. I need the acknowledgement. And if you guys refuse to acknowledge me, I will kill you, Kage, and you guys can be replaced with people who will." And the Reikage is extremely pissed off by this, but Naruto gives off a sense of bloodlust. And the Reikage, fearing to attack Naruto, he decides to go after Kakashi. He activates his lightning cloak, and he hits Kakashi, and Kakashi is fatally wounded to the point where his heart actually stops. And Tsunade is the one trying to heal him, and his heart stops. And Sasuke is there. He's crying. He's pissed. He's like, "I'll kill you." And Naruto's just like, "You will do no such thing, Sasuke." And then Sasuke is just so angry, and he keeps getting angrier, that he finally develops his Mangekyo Sharingan. I know it's not the most ideal situation for it to happen, but I had to think of an interesting way to get it in there because I want him to have it, obviously. And Sasuke is just like, "But," and Sasuke starts crying, and his Sharingan turns into the Mangekyo Sharingan. And by accident, Sasuke actually sets the Reikage's arm on fire. And the Reikage cuts off his arm, and he decides, what'd you just do? And he goes after Sasuke, and Naruto goes in the Nine Tails Kyuubi transformation, catches a punch, and then stomps on the ground, completely restraining the Reikage. And he completely reinforces the restraint, so there's no chance he can break it. Not even Tsunade can, if she wanted to. And Naruto looks at him, and he's like, stop this right now, or I will kill you. And the Reikage is just like, he actually kind of like has a shiver sent down his spine completely. Like he starts panicking. And Tsunade ends up asking Sasuke for his sword, and Sasuke tosses it to her. She cuts open Kakashi's chest, and she starts beating his heart, like for what Sakura did for Naruto in the canon when Naruto had the Nine Tails extracted from him, and she was pumping his heart for him. And so Tsunade is doing this for Kakashi until Kakashi's heart finally starts beating again. And Tsunade is like, oh no, he's in critical condition. And Naruto goes into his mindscape and he asks Kurama, he's like, if I put some of your Nine Tails chakra on Kakashi, will it heal him and save his life? And the Nine Tails said, the healing properties of my chakra will go on to Kakashi. However, I cannot guarantee it will save him, but I can guarantee that his healing will be better. And Naruto's like, I gotta do whatever I can do. And he puts his Nine Tails cloak onto Kakashi. And he looks at the five Kage and he's just like, pull a stunt like that and I'll kill you all. Except Gaara. You're cool, Gaara. I hope you'll come by. And Naruto just said, we are a nation, and the next Kage summit, I expect there to be a 6 Kage summit, not a 5. And they're all in agreement that Naruto is strong enough to take all of them if he wanted to. And so they decide to give in to this, and Naruto's like, alright, well, that's the first part of my task. Now it's time to go find people. And on their journey, they find all the tailed beasts, but they tend to fight them. So Naruto ends up finding the Isobu not being sealed inside of anybody, and he ends up going into a mindscape with all the tailed beasts. And it's just, well, the tailed beast mindscape, and it's just Naruto, Kurama, and Isobu. And Naruto's just like, I am creating a nation for Jinchuriki, tailed beasts, outcast people who don't belong, people who've made mistakes, everything. I guess you could call it kind of like a corrupted country. However, it's not corrupted. It's just me giving people who deserve a second chance a second chance. And those who break certain laws will be instantly killed. I will be watching over this village. And Isobu is understanding, and Isobu is like, okay, and why are you here for me? And Naruto's just like, this village is in the ocean, so we can make a platform for you to lie down on whenever you want to, and you can swim around in the ocean all you like, and this place will always be your home. And Isobu is like, it's an appealing offer. Will there be people after me? And Naruto looks at him and is just like, there will be nobody after you, and if they come, I will kill them myself. And Isobu is like, okay. Makes sense, bet. And so Isobu ends up traveling there with Naruto. Well, at the same time, Sasuke goes up to the Two Tails Jinchuriki. I forget her name. Anyways, I know the name of the Two Tails, Matatabi, but the Two Tails Jinchuriki doesn't trust Sasuke, and Sasuke has to fight her. And he ends up using his Mangekyo Sharingan's Amaterasu. And since he has flame control, obviously, he can put out the fire if he wants to. He uses his Amaterasu and puts it on her and tells her to stop, and he will stop it. He doesn't want to fight. And she's still screaming in pain. Then she goes into Tailed Beast transformation. And Sasuke defeats the Tailed Beast with his wide variety of jutsu, his Sharingan, everything. And Sasuke is just like, I never wanted to fight you. I wanted to invite you to my village. Well, my friend's village, really. I'm just going to be his shadow Kage. It's called the Village Hidden in the Ocean. And Manatabi and the Jinchuriki are like, The village hidden in the ocean? I never heard of that one before.
That said, to repay their debt to Supark, she orders one knight to call all the blacksmiths as they must mend as many spears as possible. The girl then sadly reminisced how Supark wasn't really interested in saving their world, and out of all the generations of heroes of spears, Supark pushed himself the hardest. During his time in the other world, he trains day and night in hopes that when he comes back to the real world, he'll be able to exact revenge on the evil heroes who killed his family. He blames his weakness for the death of his family. That's why, instead of contemplating so much, he fulfilled his duties without any questioning or faltering into silence. One day, with only the use of a spear, he slashes each of the goblins' limbs one by one. He's so eager to make himself stronger that even his comrades are scared that he's going in too deep, and they were right. One giant goblin hits the back of his head with a large bat. However, just by remembering Minsu, the rage inside him ignites once more. As a result, the poor goblins meet their death in a flash. "Just die. Just die," he says while stabbing the giant goblin's jugular vein. But even with this victory, he still hallucinates the images of his dead family members. That's why instead of a hero, he acted like a sinner or a revenge spirit. One night, after a long intense fight, the girl offers to help Supark by putting on some ointment on his wounds. She then respectfully asks why Supark eagerly wants to kill the Demon King and return back home if he hasn't had any family yet. Supark then explains that he wants to kill someone stronger than him when he returns. The girl couldn't possibly believe that someone was stronger than Supark. She also reminds him that even if he gets his revenge, abusing his body is just wrong. However, Supark knows that Minsu is indeed stronger than him in any way possible. That's why his goal is to become stronger than him and tear Minsu limb by limb. He already has come up with some gruesome ways to torture Minsu, like slashing through his skin daily, like sashimi, then feed Minsu with his own skin. Supark will make him suffer for all those people he has killed as slowly and painfully as possible. Hearing this made the girl realize that Supark was seriously twisted up inside. On the day that Supark had already defeated the Demon King, everyone was shocked when he used the Elixir of Miracles to bring the Demon King's energy back up. He did this to fight the Demon King once again in order for him to gain more strength. As this keeps going on, even the Demon King begs Supark to kill him once and for all already. His comrades, especially the girl, ask him to stay humane and don't cross the line further down than he already has. That said, inside the girl's mind, as she remembers all of these, she wishes that even after Supark completes his revenge, she hopes that he'll not become a monster. Back in the real world, Supark's thoughts are filled with Minsu's image. In his head, Minsu tells him that he's not a savior or the hero of the story. He's just someone who's nothing to the people. However, these thoughts don't matter to Supark, as he is more than satisfied by just being Minsu's murderer. After defeating Swashin, Supark goes back to the deck and asks Somin if there are any survivors. Unfortunately, it seems like all of the ship's passengers are already dead except for Somin. Without the soldiers, they can't possibly go back to the shore without anyone manipulating the ship. Somin then asks if Supark can make anything that will navigate their way back to the shore. However, it seems like Somin's statement kind of irritated Supark a little bit. He even bluntly says that if Somin claims to be a guide, shouldn't he know how to steer a ship at least? Somin then tries to explain. However, as Supark is about to leave, he then tells her that he thought she'd be competent. That's why he decided to bring her. Before he even leaves her sight, Somin asks Supark what she should do. Supark simply responds that she just needs to take a break. And let's just say, she took it personally. That's why instead of taking a literal break, she tries to find the ship's manual in hopes that she'll be able to steer the ship on her own. This way, she will be able to prove herself to Supark. Then, it seems like someone is out in the hallway as Somin hears someone walking. As she checks up on it, she thinks that Supark has already fallen asleep. She's quite shocked to see that Supark is carrying dead bodies in the middle of the night. It turns out that Supark is giving a respectful funeral for the fallen soldiers, as they remind him of his father, who is also a member of the Navy. Supark then tells them sorry since he wasn't able to send them back to their family and for having to send them off like this. As tears start to fall down, Supark continues to say he's sorry. He then tells a prayer to the fallen, and Somin also says hers in secret. In a world where both life and death are becoming vague, the boy and girl pay their respects to those who had passed before them, and as if this cruel world were admiring them, they sent a guest from the heavens. A helicopter with the South Korean Reconstruction Government team leader of the Heroes Division, Choi Jung-wook, then comes to fetch the hero of revolt, which is none other than Supark. That said, the operation of saving the world has commenced. As Mr. Choi introduces himself, Somin then tells Supark something about the organization that Mr. Choi is in. It is said that they are an organization formed by government officials and soldiers that aim to revolt against the heroes through their guerrillas. Hearing this made Supark realize that the organization might have wanted him to be a part of their tactics. As he and Somin finally enter the helicopter, Supark immediately asks Mr. Choi if the organization seriously thinks that guns would work on a hero. Then from there, a heated conversation started, to the point that Mr. Choi almost blew up the whole helicopter. That said, Mr. Choi plans on taking them somewhere. As they reach their destination, with Somin and Supark's hands tied up and eyes blindfolded, the organization is planning to interrogate them first. Then a drone is seen flying over the secret hiding place. Behind the screen, someone states that he has finally found the two rats. As they enter the building, Supark tries to analyze the surroundings. He is then able to compute that it will only take 3 seconds for him to take down all the soldiers with them now. As he starts to get annoyed, he thinks that escaping might be a good plan. He then stops making the soldiers alert immediately. Before Supark can go all in, Somin stops him and tries to remind him that the soldiers are just scared and will definitely harbor no ill intentions. She also explains that the organization and him have common enemies, and that's why he should make them trust him as much as possible. As Somin enters the interrogation room first, Mr. Choi immediately asks her what type of person Supark is. He then explained every detail perfectly, from one point to another. He tells Mr. Choi that Supark is a good guy, has the same objective as the organization. That's why he with the two working forces to defeat the other evil monsters. Hearing all of this made Mr. Choi realize that Supark might have been doing all of this for revenge.
What if manipulation? It was low key fire. I'm not gonna lie.
Part 4 is gonna be a big when she realized everything that just happened here, but I did do my best. But part 5, just so you know, before anybody else, is gonna be mainly focused on the building of the village that Naruto has decided he's
Oh yeah.
here you go. She kind of fainted.
What is Zabuza gonna do in the village?
Naruto. Zabuza's, I'm gonna put out the captain of the police back the next day looking for her. They're like, yeah, she's here. They lead to her. And Haku.
How strong are you gonna make Zabuza? Like, are you gonna buff him a little bit? I can buff him a little bit.
We're gonna have Naruto teach him how to do taijutsu. They have a few other dates. One time they can go back to Naruto's, and I'll have Naruto train him on his own. He hits her with that.
Okay, I was gonna make a video on Fortnite. I'm gonna edit the other video that I did and post it. That's why I'm on.
One thing leads to another.
Hold on, I'm gonna see if Zether will let me join.
Zether might because you're a demon completely to the land.
Bro, his top manual friends are feed to all of us.
Yeah, that's
all of us. You, me, Messiah, and Void,
and then she ends up
and Ninja. That's his top manual friends. Alright, I'm gonna.
Because I don't give a fuck.
If I leave, he will let me join.
Alright, Cat. Then a few more times in the future, I mean, Naruto hits back.
I'm not gonna spend too much.
Yeah, about having multiple children throughout the years.
He won't need one.
He ends up having a child with Sakura. Their own story I couldn't give a shit about because it's Sakura.
Alright, I'm gonna edit this video. I'll be right back.
Sakura's trash. Yeah, how she just shouldn't be in the anime. Making fun. I'm getting off track. And that's the way things had. And that's the end of this series. He founded his nation, he's got his people. I was tempted to do something about like Obito. But honestly, that's why I was actually going to Obito. He finds Obito. Madara and he's like, no. So he actually tries to like, who are you? Obito escapes, obviously. But then Naruto just lays his hand on her, just rearranging his, like, molecular structure since it's all made out of matter. And it's just like, stop, you will answer. And he's like, I'm Obito Uchiha. I survived. I survived. And Naruto's just like, oh my god, these people are ridiculous. And Obito ends up in the village. I could make a cool sequel part to this that you guys might enjoy. Just let me know if you want that in the comments and I'll drop it for you sometime in the next couple weeks because it's not what I'm most pressed about. Anyways, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Peace.